Whoa, her fins match her pillow.
Told you. Pillow predicts fin preferences.
Humans are weird, but very color coordinated.
What does this have to do with this? Watch this. Okay, so what I'm about to say may sound ridiculous, but I promise it's real. And here it is. Your pillow can predict what type of fin you would prefer. I surveyed 70 divers at DEMA last week in Orlando, and I asked them two kind of weird questions. The first question was, what is your pillow loft preference? Do you prefer a hard pillow, a medium pillow, or a soft pillow? And then my follow-up question was, what type of fin stiffness do you prefer? Do you prefer a stiff fin, a medium fin, or a floppy fin? I tracked the age ranges, the dive experience, and the dive environments for the first of 3 days. And then I realized none of that actual information actually mattered. Gender, age, experience didn't make a difference. Shockingly, the data immediately showed a straight pattern of pillow to fin connection. And I'm like, wow, really? What's up with that? Almost half of all stiff fin divers prefer a hard pillow. Of the floppy fin divers, every single one of them picked a medium pillow. I know that correlation actually sounds statistically insignificant, and it can sound even a little bit crazy, but it's actually backed by science. Proprioception is the study of body awareness, and it's tested through a tool called the PRETIE-Q test. It's a preference and tolerance of exercise intensity is what it actually stands for. It's used by Olympic training programs, cardio rehabilitation centers, and the military and countless of other agencies that deal with kinesiology and exercise physiology. So, how does this work for diving? Well, people who prefer resistance underwater also prefer the same structure when they sleep. Who knew? The stiffer the fin, the firmer the pillow. Medium fins users, or medium flex in your fin, those folks preferred a medium pillow and was by far the largest segment of the divers that I surveyed. The soft fin users almost always need comfort, and the majority of them actually picked a medium pillow. This all started out because one of my dive buddies had been chiding me about my fin selection. And we were on a surface interval in September. It was kind of hot, so we were all jumping in. And I asked the DM if I could try her fins, and she had free diving fins. And I had been giving some consideration into maybe buying a pair. And I absolutely hated them. When I got back onto the ladder, my dive buddy asked me, it's like, so, well, what do you think? And I told her, I like my fins hard, like a rock, kind of like my pillow. That's how I came up with it. If you're watching this and if you participated in this in DEMA, thank you again for playing along. I appreciate it. And the results were as predicted. Kind of showed where it was going right off the bat. So where is this information ever going to be relevant? And who cares? Well, it is usable. It's usable for any dive owner or a dive shop owner or a dive instructor who is working with new students who have no idea of how fin's going to be and they need some guidance on it. It could be a very easy, great place to start, because the only really place you have to start to fit somebody with a fin is if the boot fits. And that doesn't necessarily mean they should wear it. Also, if you're thinking about jumping board on the fins you were using, it should give you a little bit of idea what you're currently using, what your preference is, what you do like, what you don't like. This is solid data. You could figure that out. And it also has a very practical role. It can help you pick your very best dive buddy that you're most compatible with. There's a strong relationship between athletic strength preferences and personalities. We'll dive into that another time. But if you would like to try the PRETIE-Q test, it's linked below. And there's also links if you're a dive professional and would like to see the heat matrix that's available. You're more than welcome to download it. I'm Susan, and thanks for popping in at She Dives Right today, where women divers level up below and topside. And remember, as always, dive safe, dive your limits, and as always, dive, dive, dive. Catch you next time.